Hi, welcome to Stupid Guitar Tricks. Today we're going to talk about tuning. This is a pitch pipe. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, everybody had one. This is a chrome one. It's kind of fancy. Not what I had back in the day. The one I had back in the day was plastic, where this is obviously much nicer. So if you wanted to tune your guitar, you would pick one like this one right here. It says G in it, and you'd blow. And then you'd play your G string. Doesn't sound anything like a guitar. It's kind of a pain in the neck to do it. I still have one. I don't know why. It's just one of those old tuners you have around. Kind of fun to have. Actually, I think I might have got this with a banjo. I realized early on that a pitch pipe doesn't sound anything at all like a guitar. I also realized that Ted Nugent plays almost everything in A, and I happen to have the Stranglehold album. So if you put on Stranglehold, you can tune up to your A. Perfect. In the early 90s, I decided I needed a more modern tuner, so I got this Yamaha tuner. It's a YT150. So old it actually runs on a 9-volt battery. There's 3 little lights on here. If you're tuned up, it'll turn green. If you're flat, it turns red on one side. If you're sharp, it turns red on the other side. You can actually set it to tune just a single key or leave it in auto mode. It has a snappy little slot here on the back that you can put a quarter in so it'll lean back for you while you're using it. Works off a microphone, or you can plug it in. It even has an on-off switch, an actual honest-to-goodness slider switch. I don't use it that much. I keep it around. I don't know why. Same reason I got the pitch pipe, I guess. But you can get one of these probably on eBay for $5. They're really cheap if you need a tuner. About 10 years ago, I got this sort of a digital strobo tuner. Had a little clip on it that you could clip it onto your guitar, clip it onto the sound hole. Never really did that with it. It's got an input and an output, so you can run it right in your guitar jack. There's a little button here you can press and the lights will come on. When you play a note, this one, the circle will go around until it gets correct, and when it gets correct, it'll stop flickering on the note that you're playing. It's kind of useful, kind of not. It's kind of confusing when you first get it. Anyway, I've had it since the early 90s, and it's kind of wore out. Nowadays, I mostly use this tuner. It's a Snark. Well, actually, I've got a couple of them. This one's a Snark. You can see it's a little black thing. Let me turn it on for you. Don't know if you can see it. There's a little deal in there. As you tune, it'll come up and pop up and catch on. But when you're going to use it, you just clip it on right here and have a go. Now, I use it a lot when I'm playing at church because you can put it on, tune with your volume down, especially on my electric guitar, and nobody can really tell what you're doing. Doesn't distract anybody. To be honest, most of the guys are doing it while you're praying. Everybody's tuning. Another tuner I use when I'm playing by myself is this little built-in tuner. You can turn it on, hit the note, and you see it flashes the little note there. It's a fairly good tuner for what it is. It's built into the guitar, came with the guitar. I think it detracts from the sound of the guitar because you've taken this big resonant piece of wood, although a lot of this guitar is made out of laminate, so you could argue the sound isn't that good with it anyway. But you've taken this big chunk of wood out here, and you've put in a piece of plastic, which does not resonate like a big chunk of wood. There's also a tuner on my guitar processor that I use when I'm playing direct in, but I don't trust it very much. I've noticed it's kind of hinky. If I'm playing just in the studio and I'm going to tune everything off that tuner, it works fine. But I've noticed that if I'm playing with other folks who are using Snarks or using apps on their phone, the tuning's really, really crazy. The best thing for me to use at that point is the Snark tuner. When you're playing with other people, you have to think about their tuning too. If their tuner and your tuner are not in the same frame of reference, you're going to end up sounding like somebody's out a little bit. And it might not be a whole lot when you're down here playing an open E. But by the time you get up here and you're barring something, it might be really, really crazy sounding. So, something to keep in mind. I know my floor pedal, I don't dare use it unless I'm working in the studio. When I'm on stage, I use the Snark. Almost everybody's using Snark, so we have a fairly consistent tuning. I know there's videos out there you'll see on the internet that talk about oscilloscopes. The only way to tune a guitar is with an oscilloscope. You can't just do, the old harmonic tuning. Man, whatever gets you in tune and keeps you up on stage, I think that's what you should do. 9 times out of 10, people are there to hear the music. They're not there to see the show. They're not there to hear the guitar tuning and say, wow, that guitar is well in tune. Though I will say this, if you have the capability of tuning with your volume off, for goodness sakes, do it. Nobody wants to hear you tune. I know a lot of people that they leave their volume up while they're tuning, and everybody has to listen to their amp blasting away while they're going, for 5 minutes until they get their perfect tune dialed in. Go get yourself a digital tuner, get her tuned up, get on stage. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.